Alright, thank you very much for joining me again. This is Gulpane, back with a quick video response, or I don't know, video response I'll do. So this response is going to be to SNES Mapper, or SNES Mapper, and he's basically, well, not asked the question, but he had a little discussion about what's a better series, Metroid or Castlevania. So for me it's easy because I'm a Castlevania nut. I can understand why people like Metroid and why they keep making games, and comparatively there's probably, well, I think there's probably more Castlevania games than Metroid games, but not by much, I don't think. But yeah, you've got the original, they both started on the NES and then went to Super Nintendo. There was more Castlevania games on the NES. There was a trilogy, whereas only, I think there was one Metroid game on the original Nintendo, and then there was maybe two or one on the Game Boy. And then you have then you get the remakes of them as well. I know like Super Castlevania 4 was a remake of the original Castlevania, but it seemed to be like such a different game, whereas I know the Metroid games were remade as well on the Game Boy Advance. I think so anyway. I'm not 100% on the Metroid ones, but I've only really played Metroid, Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo, and haven't really gone into the ones on the Wii or the GameCube ones when they're in like first-person perspective, because I prefer the kind of 2D aesthetic and all that. But my favourite type of Castlevania game is the Metroidvania. So if you compare them on that, it's probably a better comparison to compare the Metroidvania Castlevania games and the Metroidvania Metroid games as well. It's like I suppose you say like it's like a 2D aesthetic with like Metroid is like science fiction space, whereas Castlevania is more like kind of hammer horror, you know, like Frankenstein's monster, werewolves, vampires, all that. So you got like two different aesthetics. I'd actually prefer the Castlevania aesthetic as well, the sort of like the horror aesthetic. For that sort of style of game. But again, it's very similar. I mean, you're getting different abilities to unlock different parts of the area, so it's a very similar kind of idea. But for me, I'd prefer Castlevania just for the aesthetic, and I kind of like the characters as well. I know Metroid has Samus, you know, and it's kind of the one character. And there is a bit of a lore in Metroid as well, or a bit of like a good bit of backstory, like a sci-fi-esque backstory. But yeah, for me, I'm gonna pick Castlevania. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well. So if perhaps you prefer Metroid, and you'd make the argument for Metroid, so that's absolutely fine. So if you want to leave a comment in the comment section below about which one you prefer, or do a video response yourself. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to leave a like if you want as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.